November 917, cleared Kilo Foxtrot X-ray Echo via revised routing. Direct Butler, Bravo, Tango, Lima, Echo, Romeo. Alpha 555. Direct Indy, India, November, Delta, Echo, Echo. Direct Torres, Tango, Oscar, Romeo, Echo, Zulu. For the Torres 1 arrival, 6,000 feet, runway heading, squawk 4765.
917 is cleared to Fort Lauderdale Executive via Butler to join Alpha 555 Indy, direct Torres to join the Torres 1 arrival, 6,000 and runway heading on departure and squawk 4765 for November 917.
November 917, readback is correct. Report your FBO, souls and fuel in hours and minutes.
We're at Provo Air Center. We have 2 souls on board. Fuel is 92 gallons, 5 hours and 30 minutes for 917.
November 917, roger, for startup and taxi. Contact tower 119er, decimal 9er.
19.9, good day, 917. Tower, good afternoon. November 917 is at Provo Air, ready to taxi.
November 917, taxi to Foxtrot, hold short behind that Echo Alpha 50.
Backtrack 10 via Golf, line up and wait, American 1901.
At speed 433 in the backtrack runway 10, vacate Bravo, hold on taxiway Golf.
Alright, backtrack 10, Alpha Bravo, hold on Golf, good speed 433.
433 expedite.
Keep it moving, good speed 433.
800 Juliet Romeo, follow that PC-12, vacate Bravo, hold on Golf.
Okay, follow the PC-12, vacate Bravo and hold on Golf, 0 Juliet Romeo.
Follow that Orco Alpha 50, vacate Bravo, hold on Golf.
All right, we'll follow the Eclipse, vacate Bravo, hold on Golf, 917. All right, we've been waiting for 33 minutes.
Runway 112, Buenos inbound.
We're just giving a lineup and wait on runway 10.
Runway 112.
Waiting for this Delta plane to backtrack to his gate. We've been fighting with very low oil pressure and very high temps as we sat for 33 minutes out here. And it is hot. It says it's 86 out, but I think it's hotter, and the heat is just radiating off the asphalt, so. Alright, we're gonna have to turn off our AC for takeoff just because I don't like taking off with it on.
November 917, after departure maintain a runway heading, surface wind 1207 knots, clear takeoff.
Runway heading clear for takeoff, 917. Here we go, you all set? Yep. Alright, power's coming in nice and slow because I don't want to spike that temperature up. I want to get some air moving through there first.
And Provenci Delta 1869, confirm gate 64.
Alright, takeoff power set and achieved, engine's green. Temps are coming down, 60 knots. There's 77 and rotate.
Actually, sir, we just got the wave on from the marshaller. We got him in sight, Delta 1869, thank you.
No worries.
Alrighty, we're positive rate, clear of obstacles above 90, flaps are coming up. Temps are coming down nicely.
Yeah.
Just need some air through it. We're gonna climb kind of slow because I want to get some air through there. We can turn our AC back on now, we're below 200 degrees oil.
(112) position.
Checking Musa position now.
Clear to land, wind 1207 knots.
Clear to land, runway 112.
Let's do flight level change, 135, and heading mode and standby.
$600.
Our caps available. Climb checklist, we don't need oxygen. Power lever is full forward. Mixture is full rich. Flaps are verified up. Airspeed is above 120. Fuel pump staying on. Fuel flow looks good. Engine parameters are all in the green. Temps are coming down.
(917) Airborne 23, report passing 4,000.
Report 4,000, 917. There is a really cool blueness to the water in Turks.
Oh, yeah.
That I mean, like the Bahamas has it a little bit, but like all of Turks is just turquoise blue.
Yeah.
What's up?
The map.
Oh, it's okay. It's just a little bit too much power. It's just flirting with the yellow zone. Just pull this back a hair and it'll drop off there. It was 0.1 too high. That's a really nice airport, but it is just because it's the only nice one around here. It's so busy.
It's so busy, but there's no taxiways.
There's no taxiways, and it's chaotic. Provo Air Center, though, I mean, they were awesome. They got us like in and out within 20 minutes, which is awesome. You pay dearly for it, but they were good. Their fuel was actually pretty reasonable. It was like $6 and something. Half the price of BVI's fuel.
This guy's probably like, is he there yet?
Right. We're climbing at 1,000 feet a minute. That's respectable for it being 70 degrees out still up here.
November 917, passing altitude.
Passing 3,500, 917. .917's at 4,000.
917, Miami Center, 125.1.
25.1, good day, 97. Alright, let's go autopilot on. Miami, good afternoon. November 917, 4.2 for 6,000, runway heading.
Number 917, Miami Center, radar contact East Provo, about 10 miles, climb maintain flight level 080.
Push check, 080 for 917.
November 917, you can proceed now direct Butler.
Direct Butler, 917. Alright, Butler, direct to activate direct to nav mode.
Delta 1796, contact Miami Center 126.45. Spirit 895, contact Miami Center 127.22. Number 644 Romeo Victor, traffic 12 o'clock, 5 miles up the direction of 737, 1,000 feet above. Hello, 220, traffic 12 o'clock. And 1,000 feet below.
Gonna fly back over the airport, or next to the airport. And Miami 917, do you need us at 8,000 or can we request 6,000?
Jetlink 604 Miami Center, or Jetlink 604, contact Miami Center 127.22. November 917, well, to keep you radar when it needs you at 8,000, because otherwise you go into NASA approach airspace east of Exuma. They don't have radar coverage out that far, so you'll end up being non-radar. At that point, we'll have to put you on different routing.
Okay, we can do 8,000, 917, thanks. I just figured I would ask because I figured that was the case, but there's better winds at 6,000, and lower is always not better, but
November 553,
for a long day, it's nicer to be lower.
126.45.
So, things that we learned on this trip about flying in the Caribbean. One is allow more time than you think you're going to need, because it's not like US FBOs and US service and US procedures, so everything's kind of slower.
Patience.
Everything's very manual. There's a lot of non-radar environments.
X-ray contact Miami Center 127.22.
There's a lot of airports that don't have taxiways, and there's planes backtracking, and they're overly busy, and so I would say allow more time and or fly early or late at kind of like off-peak times, because I feel like we've been flying pretty peak times, and that's leading to it being very busy and hectic when we're trying to leave and arrive at places. So that would probably be the biggest thing. Aside from that, I think it's pretty standard.
Number 2, Papa November.
A lot of position reports, a lot of like brush up on your VOR stuff. There's a lot of, they use VORs quite a bit in terms of like, they're trying to triangulate where you're at, so they're asking for radials and to and from off of VORs as to where you're located, which is something that in the US we just don't do super often. 200 to go. We do it more out west in the U.S., but if you're flying on the East Coast or in the Midwest, it's kind of rare. We're in the South. Pay a lot more for FBO services and things. So there's a lot of different handling fees. There's a lot of different processing fees and custom fees. In the U.S., like when you're flying a piston single plane, almost every facility fee gets waived when you're buying gas. And here, that's not the case. You're paying a lot more for fuel, and you're also paying for pretty expensive facility fees as well. So
even for fuel stops, some places you have to go through customs, some places you don't.
Yeah, like here we just needed to get our general declaration
signed or stamped,
reviewed and signed, and get a Turks version, but we didn't have to actually clear customs. But my understanding is if we went to Bahamas for fuel, we actually have to clear through customs. So that would be a little bit more of a pain and a little bit more time consuming. But other than that, it's pretty much the same as the U.S. for the most part. Really not too many other differences, honestly.
Had some issues flight planning.
Yeah, I had a lot of issues. It was kind of annoying. It was actually Garmin Pilot, because when I went, so I was filing flight plans that weren't showing up, or they would show up as filed in Garmin Pilot. I would get an email confirming they were filed, but they were never accepted by Center. And then when I went to Lido's Flight Services online and filed it, if I filed directly through them and bypassed Garmin Pilot, it worked fine. So it's something with, I don't know, it's something related to Garmin Pilot, which is kind of annoying. I don't know if ForeFlight has that issue. All right, we're below 30.5. Do our cruise checklist. Mixture is leaned out, looks good. Airspeeds look good. This is our climb checklist still. Why did it not go to cruise? There we go, cruise. All right, no oxygen needed, 30.5 or below, we're good there. Fuel pump staying on the full flight. Mixture's leaned out, engine parameters are green, fuel flow looks good, and we're not going to be in any sort of icing today, so let's prep our descent checklist. Yeah, other than that, it was pretty much the same as the US. I mean, the procedures are the same, there's the same approaches, the VORs are the same, everything else is more or less, I feel like, very similar to flying in the US, so nothing too different. Obviously, flying over open water, a lot of considerations of that from a safety standpoint in terms of just having life jackets and life rafts and EPIRBs and GPS communication devices and survival gear and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of survival equipment sitting in the back seat. Should anything happen, we're prepped to go down in the ocean if we need to. If we were flying a non-Cirrus plane, not that anybody wants to go down to the ocean, but I think it's a little bit easier to go down in water in a Cirrus because you pull the parachute and you float down into the water, as opposed to other planes that have fixed landing gear. When that gear hits the water, it kind of grips, and typically 9 times out of 10 the plane flips over. And so obviously that's not a very fun experience being upside down in the water in your plane. So I think the parachute's a big advantage to emergency water ditching.
I can already hear people in the comments saying you guys are not wearing your life jackets.
Yeah, we're not wearing our life jackets while we're flying. And I know a lot of people that fly single engine pistons in the Caribbean, they wear their life jacket the whole flight. We've put on our life jackets before. We're boaters, we've worn life jackets our whole lives. We know the life jacket procedure. They're within arm's reach right here. It takes us about 15 seconds or less to get them on. So at 8,000 feet, we have a decent amount of time to glide down. If we pull the parachute, it's going to take us a while to glide down as well, so we feel that we have ample time to get a life jacket on. So yeah, that's why we're not wearing life jackets, but they're right there, and we have our procedures in terms of who grabs the life jackets, who grabs the ditch bag, who grabs the life raft. Cirrus also, there's a video in Cirrus's training library where a Cirrus that was actually being ferried by a professional ferry pilot with an auxiliary fuel tank in the backseat from California to Hawaii actually had an issue with the auxiliary fuel not feeding. And so he ran out of gas basically, even though he had gas, over the ocean, and he had to pull the parachute. Luckily he was very close to a cruise ship, and there's actually a video of the plane with the parachute gliding down, and that gave them some good data in terms of how long it takes over water for the parachute to come down. And in the video you can see how long the plane actually remains stable for and floats for, and so based on that data I felt pretty comfortable knowing that once we hit the water, we have a decent amount of time to get out of the plane if we needed to. So all those kind of factored into the decisions, and then other data points and other information as well factored into kind of how we approach this trip from a safety standpoint. So right now, we just took off from Provo. Unfortunately, we're at 8,000 because of the routing here, it sounds like. I filed for 6, and they gave us 8, gave us some different routing, unfortunately. We have an 11 knot tailwind. We would have had a 20 knot tailwind if we were 2,000 feet lower, so that kind of sucks. And having a long day of flying, it's always nice to be a little bit lower. It just feels better on the body. So is what it is, but we'll take 8,000. We've got about 2 hours and 30 minutes roughly to Fort Lauderdale Executive, where we'll be landing to clear customs, doing a really quick fuel turn there. And then we'll do some planning out of there to figure out if we need to stop for fuel on our way back to Chicago. There's supposed to be some pretty good tailwinds. So hopefully we won't have to stop, but I suspect we're going to have to stop one more time for fuel on our way back to Chicago, so we'll see how that looks. But that's kind of our plan. Otherwise, we've got some nice flying over the Bahamas. It's always pretty, so we'll kind of pop in and out as we're flying over some scenic routes, but otherwise we'll check back in on the descent into Fort Lauderdale Executive.
917, Miami.
917, go ahead.
917, going to lose you here on radar and frequency coverage shortly. So your radar services are terminated. Report the intersection to my frequency 124.52. I'll be able to hear you there. You're going to monitor that frequency. If you do need something prior to Indy, there'll be plenty of that frequency that you can use a relay.
Okay, you're coming in broken for 917, but if you can hear us, I believe you said 124.52 at Indy, and if we need anything, do a pilot relay for 917.
That's affirmative. Radar service is terminated.
917, copy. Miami Center, November 917, flight level 080.
7917, Miami Center. Use NASA altimeter 3011.
3011, 917. NASA, November 917, 8,000.
November 917, NASA approach, altimeter 3008, continuing route. November 917, contact Miami 126.37.
2637, have a great day, 917.
Good day.
Miami, good afternoon, November 917, 8,000.
November 917, Miami Center, the NASA altimeter 3009er. Question, are you part 135 today?
09 or negative, part 91 for 917.
All right, we are descending into Fort Lauderdale. It was a pretty uneventful flight. Very pretty though. A lot of good island sighting and not very many clouds today, so we had some good footage of the islands. But we were given a descent down to 3,000. We're on a 350 heading. We were originally on the Decal 9 arrival, which they peeled us off of because there were just too many planes coming in. It's really busy right now. There's also, I think this is a presidential TFR. It's a VIP TFR, but I think it might be a presidential TFR up north, so we're going to be kind of breaching into that zone where IFR currently is. So we're fine with that. We just picked up information Victor, and we were told to expect the RNAV 9, so I'm going to punch that in real quick. So we're going to go procedure, approach, RNAV 9. They're going to vector us, I'm sure. Look at the chart real quick on here. RNAV 9 is an LPV 213. Our minimums 213. And we're going to load that up. Alright, we should be about 10 minutes out from landing, maybe a little bit less, just depends on what they give us for vectors here. Pretty straightforward approach. We got a Never at 2,000, pads at 2,000, True at 1020. Looks pretty easy. If we have to go mixed, we're climbing straight ahead to 2,000 feet, direct to Forsu to hold, which is out of the ocean. Not much to hit. Pretty straightforward approach. So yeah, if we could just get a turn inbound here, we'd be great.
Charlie Alpha, best rate of climb, turn left heading 360. Rate of climb, turning to 360 to the Alpha.
I see where we're going. This is getting kind of snug here, but we're gonna probably, that one came in over. I think that's what they're gonna do to us, yeah. We're gonna have like a left downwind for runway 9. Yeah. So it's 1,300 above us?
Right there. Black dot.
Oh, I got him.
Ray Charlie Alpha, climb maintain 4,000, turn left heading 280. That's 280, 4,000, clear Charlie Alpha.
So we have a customs window of 30 minutes here, either side of our arrival time. We're supposed to arrive at 3 o'clock.
It's 3:20.
It's 3:20. We've got 10 minutes left, depending
917, turn left heading 290.
Left turn 290, 917.
That's what I was looking for. So there's the left turn to 290. He's going to put us in a left downwind for
Miami,
runway 9.
good afternoon, November 117, Tango Foxtrot 2000 with Hollywood Victor.
Mr. Golf Whiskey, contact approach on 133.77, have a good day.
32.77 for 310 Golf Whiskey, have a good day.
3377.
Okay, 33.77 for 310 Golf Whiskey.
I guess we'll
Tango
find out how
Foxtrot,
strict they are with their time
turn left
windows.
heading 270, climb maintain 3000.
Because we're probably going to be, by the time we taxi over there, we'll probably be 10 minutes late.
Tango Foxtrot, expect the visual approach on 10 left.
What I don't understand is they say to call them if you're going to be late.
Ray Charlie Alpha, contact approach on 126.05,
I mean, like, we
have a
can
good
call
day.
them on here, but like most planes don't have a phone on them, so how are you supposed to
26.05,
call them?
50 Foxtrot, contact Pompano Tower on 125.4,
Alright, let's go through our
have a good day.
checklist. We don't need oxygen. Altimeter is set. Landing light.
November 2 Uniform Sierra starts descent in the Pompano, contact
Fuel
Pompano
quantity's
Tower
good. Power
125.4,
as
have a good day.
needed. Brakes have pressure.
Start
Your
descent,
seatbelt's on.
contact Pompano 25.4.
We'll do fuel pump mixture.
Career track
Flaps,
522, cross
autopilot.
Denver at 2000, cleared R-Nav 19 approach.
Cross Denver at 2000, clear for the R-Nav.
So what do you think of our first open water crossing?
It was good.
I didn't think it was that bad, honestly. I feel like at 8,000 feet, we were mostly at 8,000 and 9,000 feet, and I feel like at those altitudes, there were 2 or 3 stretches, I think, where we were not within glide distance of something, but
7 Tango Foxtrot, contact approach on 123.7.
because of the routes that we
have a good day.
filed, the majority of the time we were within glide distance of land, or at least pretty close to it. I didn't think it was that terrible, honestly.
No.
I mean, there were definitely some stretches where it got a little boring because there was not much to look at. It was just water or clouds, but I mean, that's no different than when you're flying anywhere else and you're looking at just clouds, so.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all.
This is definitely our longest day of flying. The only bad thing about this leg was the half hour we got stuck on the ground waiting to take off at Provo. That was a real pain, but I mean, it is what it is. We're somewhere around halfway back once we land here, give or take a little bit. So we'll kind of stretch our legs and jump back in and keep heading north. I did check the winds. We are going to need to do another stop, so we're doing a fuel stop in Kentucky, and then we'll continue on our way back. What's crazy about this trip is that even though we're taking the whole day today to fly home, we did the math, and if we were to fly commercial to BVI, or fly home from BVI to Chicago, we'd have to connect somewhere, and we'd have to clear customs, obviously, wherever we connect. There's not a lot of optimal times to fly back from BVI, was the issue. Well, the issue was that we wanted to fly ourselves, but if we were to have gone commercial, there's not really that many optimal flights that you can time the connection really well. Cause
approach 1317 Mike is with you out of 2000 for 3.
1317 Mike,
obviously sometimes it takes,
maintain VFR at below 3000.
you know, when we flew through Miami last commercial, I think it took us like 2+ hours to clear customs.
That was horrible.
And we were worried that we weren't going to make our connection. So I personally would probably want to be on the ground at least 3 hours to clear customs, just to make sure that we clear customs, get to the gate, our checked baggage gets moved around, because obviously being gone for 10 days, we would have checked bags. So I don't know, I think by the time we fly from BVI to wherever we connect, let's just say Miami, spend 3 hours on the ground in Miami, plus the extra time to go through security at the airport and all that nonsense, getting out of BVI, clearing customs, waiting for our connection, getting on our connection, going to O'Hare, waiting for our checked bag, waiting for an Uber to go home from O'Hare. We did the math, and flying even in a single engine prop plane like this is equally as fast or even slightly faster than taking the airlines home, which is crazy to think about. I don't know, people are like, oh, aren't you tired flying all day? And honestly, I'm totally fine right now. Like, we've been flying for 5 or 6 hours, and I feel just as alert as when I woke up this morning. And honestly, I mean, when you're in altitude, even in an airliner, you're still up high. You know, the cabin pressure altitude is like 8,000 feet, which is what we've been at, 8,000 feet.
Of executive are requesting
and so, I don't know,
VFR for the following to exec, please.
I just don't think that it's any more tiring, to be honest. It's, I mean, when you're in cruise, you're watching the engine, you're talking to ATC, but it's mostly pretty simple.
Number 917, turn left heading 275.
275, 917.
Alright, there's Pompano Airport down below us.
Miami departure, this is 32 Yankee Alpha. Just departed Fort Lauderdale Executive at 1,000 feet, climb into 2,000. 32 Yankee Alpha, Miami departure to contact, maintain VFR.
Obviously we're halfway back, but would you rather fly all day in this, or would you rather fly commercial?
This, without a doubt.
I mean, it's just easier. You're on your own schedule. If you want to stop and grab a bite, you stop and grab a bite. If you want to stop and stretch your legs, you stop and stretch your legs. You don't have to deal with all the
Mike, requesting on course.
inconveniences of commercial air travel.
17 Mike, proceed on course.
7 Mike.
Jet Center, good afternoon, November 917.
Go ahead, sir, Executive Jet.
Number 17 Mike, verify you're going to Freeport.
Hey, good afternoon, November 917. We're about 6 minutes out or so. I just wanted to confirm you guys were going to have a fuel truck meet us over at Customs.
Hey, Sam, the fuel truck is right now on standby at Customs for you guys.
Awesome, you guys are the best, we appreciate it.
No problem, have a good flight.
Uh, 603 for Bravo Chest to confirm the Scott 0171, right?
Confirm your radar contact 19 miles west of Flight Executive Airport, maintain VFR, proceed on course.
On course, 603 for Bravo.
Little rain cloud.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's raining down below.
Number 917, descend and maintain 2,000.
2000, 917.
Sector ground, good afternoon, medevac for 3 Abram, Victor information, Victor, the charter ground request taxi.
He's also inside.
Number 917, turn left heading 200.
Left turn 200, 917.
Alright, let's find this guy.
2 Yankee Alpha, traffic 1 o'clock, 3 miles southwestbound Cirrus, descending to 2,000.
Looking for traffic 32 Yankee Alpha.
He's on flight following?
Yeah. We should be clear of him, but I don't...
Number 917, reduce your final approach speed, you're going to be following assessment.
We'll slow it up, 917.
Yeah, Executive Jet Center is awesome. Instead of having to taxi over there, they're going to meet us at Customs with a fuel truck so we can just fuel up and get the heck out of there.
It's a Piper going 87 knots.
Is it?
Yeah.
I still don't see him.
917, you're 5 for pass, turn left heading 120, maintain 2,000 until established on the final approach course, cleared RNAV runway 89 approach.
Alright, left turn 120, 2,000 until established, clear the RNAV 9 approach, 917.
Alrighty, we are going to go into approach mode. We're going to go home, procedure, activate approach. Approach is activated. Still don't see that guy. But he's no factor. Oh, I got him inside, he's off our wing.
I'm like Piper in front of us.
Oh, that's the Piper. I thought there was a Cessna in front of us, he said.
No, the Piper is on the final.
Oh, you said I thought you said we're following a Cessna.
I know, he did.
Number 917, contact Executive Tower 120.9, have a good day.
Over tower, good day, 917.
Alright, how's the spacing look here? Yeah, we need to slow it down even more, I think.
Executive Tower, Cirrus 917 on the RNAV 9.
Cirrus 917, Executive Tower, runway 9 cleared to land number 2 traffic. Your phone is indicating 70 knots.
Alright, runway 9 clear to land number 2, and we will slow it up. We're looking for that traffic 917.
70 knots. This is going to be difficult. Alright, let's go full rich.
Return number 603 for Bravo to the northwest with a Victor full stop, please.
Career track 522. Expect minimal time on the runway. Traffic in trail of you is trying to slow down as serious.
We'll expect minimum time on the runway. We're looking out for the traffic.
Alright, first on to flat speed checks.
Citation November 684 Tango Hotel, runway 9er, clear for takeoff. Turn left heading 330, expedite.
Left turn to 330, clear for takeoff runway 9, expedite for 684 Tango Hotel.
Alright, I know this is early, but let's do full flap speed checks. Alright, we are at 88 knots. It's about the best that he's going to get out of us here. And we're still gaining on him.
I don't even see him still.
I don't either. It's always really hard to see traffic when they're in front of you, descending at the same altitude as you. He's 1.5 miles in front of us.
He just landed.
Okay, I see him now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is him. I thought it wasn't moving, he was going so slow. Alright, we're all configured for landing. 500, we're landing, we have landing clearance, we're all configured, autopilot's coming off, and our landing checklist is complete.
You're off the runway.
Great. Come on, dude, get off the freaking runway.
Tower, would you like us to turn out Gulf?
Affirmative.
Turning out Gulf, crew traffic, 522.
Are we clear to land? Just call him.
Yeah, we're already clear to land.
Minimums.
Alright, we're landing. There's enough separation that we could have landed anyways at a towered field, but yes, we're clear to land. Alrighty.
Second Tower, met by 43, Romeo Victor, approaching runway 9 Alpha 1, we're ready for departure.
Roger, waiting for your IFR release. November 917, say parking.
We're going to customs, 917.
Roger, turn right at taxiway Golf and contact ground traffic is crossing downfield.
Alright, we'll turn at Golf and over to ground, good day, 917.
Where's Golf?
Right here. Alright, we made it to Fort Lauderdale Executive. We're not able to clear the runway because he's in our way, but we'll stop here. We're going to go clear customs. Hopefully that'll be pretty quick, and we will catch back up with you guys on the departure out of Fort Lauderdale Executive as we head on up to Kentucky to our next fuel stop.